5 Americans freed by Iran in a high-stakes prisoner swap landed back in the United States on Tuesday to a joyous reunion with family members. The 5 arrived aboard an executive jet at a military airfield in Fort Belvoir southwest of Washington. Relatives waved U.S. flags and hugged the freed prisoners as they disembarked from the aircraft, then posed for a group photograph, grinning widely. "Welcome home," National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan posted on X, formerly Twitter. A family member hugs freed U.S. citizen Sia McNamee, R., upon his arrival at an airbase near Washington on September 19, 2023. The former prisoners, including one held for 8 years, were part of a rare prisoner exchange between Washington and Tehran, a deal that included the unfreezing of $6 billion in fund, frozen by U.S. ally South Korea. The swap marked a slight thaw in relations between the two countries over a host of issues, including Iran's advances in its nuclear program, although some observers urged caution in viewing the release as a sign of change. The prisoners arrived on a flight from the Gulf state of Qatar, which helped facilitate the exchange, negotiated over several months. They will receive a medical checkup in the Washington area. President Joe Biden's administration has rejected criticism at home that it was paying ransom, insisting the money will be used only for humanitarian purposes, with a threat to refreeze the funds if not. But Iran has insisted it has full access. The money cruelly blocked until now and currently in the possession of the Islamic Republic belongs to the people of Iran, and we will use them to meet the people's needs, President Ebrahim Raisi said in New York. Not naive. Raisi and Biden were among world leaders gathered in New York Tuesday for the United Nations General Assembly. They are not scheduled to meet, however. In his speech from the UN rostrum, Biden said that the United States would work with allies to address Iran's destabilizing activities that threaten regional and global security. The United States remains steadfast in our commitment that Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon, Biden said. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the prisoners' issue was a separate track from moribund talks on reviving a 2015 nuclear deal trashed by former President Donald Trump. One of the freed prisoners praised Biden for ignoring the domestic political backlash and taking the incredibly difficult decisions that freed them. "Thank you, President Biden, for ultimately putting the lives of American citizens above politics," Sia McNamee, a businessman held by Iran since 2015, said in a statement. U.S. officials arrange a group photo of the former prisoners freed by Iran landed at an airfield near Washington. Other freed prisoners include wildlife conservationist Morad Tabaz and venture capitalist Ahmad Sharkai, both of whom were held at the notorious Evin prison but placed under house arrest last month. 2 other U.S. prisoners involved in the swap have not been publicly identified. All are Iranian Americans. The 5 Iranian prisoners released by the United States were convicted or charged with nonviolent crimes, with one already set to be released soon, officials said. Some observers viewed the prisoner exchange cautiously. "We are not naive," European Council President Charles Michel told journalists Monday at the United Nations. "We can also observe the very brutal repression in Iran," he said, including the use of kidnappings by the Iranian authorities to put pressure on some governments including in the EU. "We do not underestimate the level of tensions and difficulties." France, which backs the nuclear agreement and considers 4 of its nationals to be arbitrarily detained by Iran, warned against drawing a link. "I think we need to be extremely careful to distinguish this from the nuclear issue," French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna told reporters.